Totes Recall.
Welcome to Totes Recall, the podcast where we talk about a movie we can't remember very well, eat 2 pizzas and 2 salads while we're watching that movie, return later after the viewing, and reflect upon the movie and our experience watching it with each other, with ourselves, with society at large. My name is Dan.
This is Molly.
I'm also Dan.
And I'm Beth.
And our movie this episode is Legally Blonde.
Wow.
Whoa.
In celebration of something?
Is it?
I think there's a Legally Blonde 3 coming out. Does that seem
When?
right?
3?
Okay.
Okay, yes. Legally Blonde 3. I'm going to Google it. I'm Googling it.
While Beth is Googling, let's do some housekeeping where I also shame Dan into backing up a little from his microphone.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is burned out.
Well,
Or whatever you call it.
Clip it.
not.
It's burned out. It's on drugs.
Hey,
It's
listeners.
on the wrong side of the
Oh,
tracks.
boy. Yes. Hey, listeners, our microphones are all on drugs. So, no,
The reason is that we are recording separately for the first time ever.
it's
Yes.
very confusing.
Yeah, it is
It's-
confusing. Also, there is a Legally Blonde 3. PS.
Already?
Well, it's going to come out on May 7th, but
Is it,
who knows
though?
if it's actually going to
Yeah.
come out because we are all in quarantine.
It's
Yeah.
all isolation times when we record this.
Not
and
to
who
date
knows?
this podcast, but it probably won't date it because it'll be like this for a couple months. So,
Oh, at least.
So
I
wash
mean,
your
how-
hands.
Oh, should we do that bet? How long we think this is going to last?
I don't want to do that right now.
No.
So yes, we are all in our own homes, recording in our own little spaces with no way to visually, interact with each other in any way. It's very confusing because I definitely express myself facially quite a bit when talking to other people.
Yeah, it's like
Yes.
we're on a phone call, and
Yeah,
everyone hates phone calls.
It's
Yeah.
almost like we're
we're millennials.
our listeners.
Yeah, it's like
Oh.
I did say that because I took a voyage to everyone's house today to drop off a microphone.
Yes,
And
yes,
And I
you
did say that to Molly that like it will be like we are also podcasting listening. What?
Oh, God.
Podcast
Yeah.
listening.
Well,
Yep.
Like we can't describe what the other person is doing.
yeah.
You know what I mean? We have to
Right.
really describe it ourselves. And this is a new adventure for us.
You know, this reminds me of a time I had to call a coworker where we were just sort of becoming friends,
Mm,
but we needed to make a plan, and it was just too complicated to do via text.
mm.
My palms sweat as if I were asking her to prom. It
Oh,
was. It just felt so formal. Hello, Chrissy. It's Molly. How's it going? It was so awkward.
Would you
And you
say
know
it's
what?
nerve-wracking like starting law school when no
Oh.
one thinks you're prepared?
Yeah.
Question
By the
mark?
way, this
Just
is
the plot?
about the movie Legally Blonde.
I will say, I wish I had the confidence and poise of Elle Woods sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is. Is that the
Oh, well,
main
that's
character?
great. Yeah.
Like if you had to guess what this movie was about, Dan, because Dan, you have not seen it, correct?
I have not.
What,
I know
what
you
do
can't see me, so you don't know if I'm lying or not. But I can assure you, I have not seen this movie.
I can tell if you're lying.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
She's a very good producer.
This recording system also has a lie detector.
Oh,
test
shit.
attached.
I don't know.
So, Dan, what do you think happens?
Okay, so all I know about this movie is that Reese Witherspoon is in it, and I'm pretty sure part of Ariana Grande's "Thank You Next" video is paying homage to it.
Oh.
So, based on those two things and how movies work, my guess is Reese Witherspoon is the Legally Blonde. She is the character of Legally Blonde. She
Yes.
is, okay, I'm going to guess she is some sort of like SoCal upper class lady who is like kind of the stereotypical, like at least from the outside, she is perceived as the stereotypical dumb blonde cliche. But she is actually a very competent academic who is now either becoming a lawyer or is going to law school, and everyone thinks she's just like some goofball, but she's actually good at lawyering.
Mm-hmm.
And also there's some sort of love interest, and I don't know if it's in the movie or in the Ariana Grande video where like maybe they, I don't know, talk about his penis.
All right. So Elle Woods, I want to make sure I get this bet right in the ledger here.
Yeah,
So Elle Woods maybe talks about someone's penis
with her like hairdresser friend or something.
Okay.
Oh, and also again, I'm
talking about Elle Wood. Am I right?
Oh, you are.
Yikes.
L for large. Okay.
Stop. I hate
what is happening?
Just because you can't see us right now doesn't mean that we're not here.
I know.
Exactly.
But there is definitely going to be. Here are the things that are definitely going to happen. Dan and I are going to have problems because we're going to try to do something with our hands and have to describe it. And Dan and I are going to have secondary problems because we won't be able to see the looks of disgust from Molly and Beth to tell us.
Just know that there's always a look of disgust.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I understand.
Oh, also, one more bet. She is at one point has a little dog.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Wears a pink pantsuit, maybe?
Sure.
And also is sunning herself on the campus of a storied institution of some kind.
Oh, do you want to guess which storied institution?
Ooh, I'm going to say, Yale.
Mm.
Interesting.
Okay. That's clearly wrong based on the tone of Molly's voice. So, great. Harvard.
Yeah.
Harvard. I'm legally blind.
Hey, here we are, legally blonde. Nope.
Blonde.
Oh, it's me, legally blonde.
I'm down to Boston.
I'm from Boston, Massachusetts.
We just lost our one Boston listener.
Oh, no. Anyway.
Sorry, Mark Wahlberg.
You think Mark Wahlberg has been listening to the show?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, I'm gonna guess she also has some like equally hey, I'm a shopping gal friends who maybe are not lawyer people and are just like what everyone perceives her to be.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they are actually more like shallow and kind of more just like superficial, but they're friends because they grew up together or something.
Okay. This is a pretty good summary.
That's pretty good.
One more bet because of how movies work. She's maybe involved in like an important legal case at some point because that's how she proves herself to somebody.
This is good.
Very good.
Great.
I have seen this movie and I have nothing to add.
Really?
Other than I think it's Stanford.
Oh my God.
Come on.
Shut it down.
All right.
That is, come on. So I have the polar opposite experience with this movie in that I think I have most of it memorized.
What?
And there are moments from this movie that I think about all the time, including a pretty critical moment where somebody gets bangs.
Bangs or banged?
Bangs. Oh, Dan!
Did they bang?
A secondary take on beloved segment. Did they bang? Did they get bangs?
Get bangs.
Did they get bangs?
Okay, Molly, I'm going to push back just a little bit just because of how you work.
Okay.
Are you confident that you mostly remember Legally Blonde and not Legally Blonde 2?
Yes, because I watched Legally Blonde 2 and it is awful. It was a terrible disappointment. Oh, awful.
Yeah.
But also, go see Legally Blonde 3. You're welcome. Synergy.
Oh, yeah. And there's a musical?
Yes.
Oh,
correct.
yes. It's supposed to be very good. So here's the thing. I really love this movie. There are some really pivotal moments. I feel like Elle Woods for me is just sort of somebody I will always love on a gut level. And Molly's prediction, I'm going to be mad that you guys aren't going to like the movie as much as I do.
Nice. When do you suppose this came out? Like, at what age was this a formative woman hero for Molly Chase?
I don't know that it can't be formative like Clueless was formative, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So, like, Clueless came out at a time that it would be reasonable for me to glom on. This is a more embarrassing time. Like, probably for me, it was in my late 20s.
Yeah.
Late 20s, maybe. No, I hope not early 30s.
That seems right. I bet it came out like 20 years ago.
If she's in law school, though, then you guys are about the same age, right?
Oh, no, she's younger.
Yeah.
I think she's a little younger. I think Reese Witherspoon, is probably at least like 3 years younger than I am.
But like the character is like...
Oh, I know, but she's playing about the same age as her
Wait,
character.
is this like a Doogie Howser situation? Where she's like...
No.
Oh, she's like a teen?
She's like 17 and is just crushing it at law school?
No, but there are so many lovely moments in this film. I really hope you enjoy it. Maybe 3/4 as much as I did.
I enjoy this movie very much.
Oh.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a very fun movie. It's kind of a movie that I enjoy when I want something that doesn't require a lot of thought. Like it's just kind of a fun movie. And in it it's very silly, but there's also a Me Too moment in it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I think that is important for people to see. Like,
Some
hey,
sweaty prof is making moves.
yep,
Vincent D'Onofrio.
Whoa.
that's a good guess.
He's a
is
great
it?
sweaty prof. I
Yeah,
would
right?
I actually
guess him
don't know
in
the
a moment.
actor's name.
Hey, remember when I tried to tie in us guessing what year it came out, and then you all shot it down?
Oh
Oh
boy.
no.
Oh,
Well,
boy.
I'm gonna guess it was 20 years old. I'm gonna say 2000.
Okay.
I'll say 2002.
I'm going to say 2003.
I will complete the run, I think, and say 2001.
Nice.
Space
Fun.
Odyssey.
That's the one. This is the actualization of 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Wait, is this movie just a remake of Space Odyssey?
Yes.
Yeah, Elwood
Yeah,
erupts from the monolith.
Yep. There's like a 20-minute scene of just lights.
Yeah.
Yep. I would like to make a bet. Luke Wilson is in it and very charming.
What?
Oh, he's
I
the
was
one they're
So
in love
attracted
with.
to Luke Wilson
Oh,
in this movie.
Yeah.
I think he's one of my bigger
Beth.
bigger movie crushes.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah, I was like,
Are you
who
gonna be
is this
swooning?
man? I
What
might
a
be swooning.
jawline.
He does have a jawline. I'm
Mhm.
attracted to jawlines. That's a thing.
Does he have a
Yeah.
jawline?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. He's got jawlines for days.
What about other one? Is it too chinny?
Owen?
Yeah.
Is he too chinny?
He's just got
Um,
less of a substantial
I'm just thinking
You know what?
Wilson jawlines here.
I can't. Okay, is this because Luke Wilson is also in Charlie's Angels?
Okay.
And I think that's the first time I saw him. So I think I had a crush on him from that movie.
Nice.
And then moved on to this movie.
Hmm.
And I guess Owen Wilson was in like Wes Anderson movies that I was not watching when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sorry,
Luke Wilson was
everyone.
also in some of those movies.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
He was one of the Royal Tenenbaums.
He was
That's
one of
true.
the Royal Tenenbaums.
That is true.
It's not only where you show up, it's when you show up.
Right.
So,
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, for hotness? For formative
Yeah.
hotness?
yeah,
Formative
absolutely.
hotness. Yeah. Specifically formative
Sure.
hotness.
Sure.
Mhm,
But
mhm,
he is
mhm.
super charming in this movie.
Nice.
Is he okay? I will bet that he is a teacher, like a new teacher, as opposed to
Whoa.
like another student. That's my bet.
That seems problematic.
Yeah, I agree.
Molly's bet some of this stuff is not going to, some of it's going to come across as a little more problematic now than it did when
Oh,
it first
sure.
came out. But
Yeah.
Molly's also bet it's not as bad as it could be.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, if he's a
Bold.
TA, it's not as bad.
Beth's bet. This movie starts with like people passing a letter around
Okay.
and it says
Ooh.
L on the front. I want to say it's in a pink envelope.
Nice.
That's a bold
Oh.
bet. Everything is pink.
So much pink. There's so much like puffy pens.
Except for her awesome laptop, which I wanted so bad, which was orange.
Ooh.
It was like an Apple laptop. You know, remember when Apple had those computers that were like jewel toned
Yeah.
Yes.
tones? Like she has an orange one, and I
Nice.
wanted it so badly.
Yeah.
Is
And
this?
now it'd be the worst computer in the world.
Yeah.
I forget how many hairstyles she has in this movie, but in
We're
almost
talking
every...
multiple styles.
Oh,
We should
yeah.
count.
We should
Yeah.
count. Like, I think every
This is
single
like the
scene she
songs
has
in
a
a musical.
different cute haircut. I'm going to guess there
Nice.
are going to be at least 12.
Wow.
Possibly.
12.
At
Holy
least.
shit.
How much time passes in this movie?
Not
A
like
year?
not like different colors or anything, just a different
I know.
style.
It's
Yeah.
actually maybe longer than a year.
Oh, it goes all the way through to graduation.
Well, it cuts to graduation, but I think the first, like, the movie is like her first year of law school, but she also has to get into law school.
That's true. That takes at
So
least
It
a
starts
few
with her.
months.
Yeah, it's true. Well, because so she starts by getting an invitation to go out to dinner with her boyfriend,
Oh.
who
Yes.
she's convinced is going to propose to her.
In fact, her entire sorority is convinced, and that is the card that they're signing is a congratulations card.
Oh, okay. So it's not from him. I was thinking it was
No.
like, come to dinner.
No, it's everybody in her sorority.
And so she goes to dinner and he breaks up with her because she's just not like he's going to law school and she's not a senator's wife. Is that what he says?
Yep.
Wait,
Like
he's going to law school?
Yeah, because he wants to be a senator. And like she's not senator wife material.
Ooh.
So he breaks up with her.
Yikes.
Yeah. And so she decides, I'm going to go to law school and get him back.
Oh,
But
and
she
do
decides
law better.
Yes. Well,
no, just
to get him back.
Yeah, that is the beauty of this movie is that
she
it
follows
starts
a man
out,
to law school?
Yes, this is what's beautiful about it is her whole incentive at the beginning is just to be in the same school as he is and to pursue him. And
get him back, like be romantically entangled again, not like get him
Revenge.
back. Like I'm gonna get you, sucker.
No.
So she actually like gives people at the beginning, at least, she gives people good reason to be like, ugh, you're not good lawyering. You shouldn't even be here.
Well, she does get into law school with a really high LSAT score.
Yeah.
But like, does she like say it outright that she's just trying to like get her man back?
No, no. I mean, but you, the viewer, understand that as her beginning motivation.
I see. Okay.
And that's what makes it all the more satisfying the other ways that she succeeds.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And I think she makes that decision. Doesn't she make that decision when she goes to get her nails done, Molly? With the like, because she goes.
Is that what they're talking about? Elle, if you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, God, no. Bringing it back doesn't make it better.
We'll see how many times it takes.
I do think at some point they do kind of talk about it, but it's brief because. Okay, so she goes to get her nails done, and she talks about
But she's already in law school.
She is in law school. She has a bad first day. That's right.
She has a very bad first day, and one of the worst things she finds out is that her boyfriend is engaged.
What?
Already?
Yeah,
a woman with
Vanderbilt.
Yeah, a Vanderbilt, like senator's wife type person.
Anderson Cooper.
And she's going to give up, but then she gets an awesome pep talk from her manicurist. I really feel like we should just watch the movie. Because here's the thing. I know every moment of this movie, and hearing me summarize it isn't going to be a lot of fun. And I also want you guys to have some moments of epiphany during it.
Sure. I mean, we can talk more about how weird this is if you want.
Oh, how weird. Which?
there are a couple things that I feel like there are some questions on the table that our listeners will want to know.
Okay, what are they?
For example, the big one is we are not in the same house, which means we are not going to all be eating at the same time, the same meal. And I think that's going to throw off the dynamic. You
know what? In hindsight, we should have had identical pizzas delivered to everybody's house.
Yeah, we should have, but we didn't.
Oh, man. Sorry,
So
Patriots.
I am going to, Molly, I'm going to ask your permission to stretch out pizza talk at least a little bit so we can confirm whether or not we are all eating pizza or salad.
All right, let's do this.
Okay. I am fairly confident, based on having a quick discussion with my wife before we started recording, that we are going to put a frozen pepperoni pizza in the oven before we watch Legally Blonde.
Wow.
I might still have some leftover salad from work, from a work lunch that I took to work, is what I'm trying to say. So I guess I could have a little salad too, just to keep traditions alive.
Wow.
I also, because it's my house, my rules, will be drinking a beer.
Wow.
That's right.
Drunk cast over here.
Legally Blonde.
Wow.
Well, I have an almost identical story.
Okay.
My husband right now is making pizza.
Brag.
Oh my!
Like making it from scratch?
Yeah.
Does he throw the dough like a Mamma Mia?
Like a Mamma Mia?
Yeah.
No.
What is a Mamma Mia?
You can't say like a Mamma Mia.
That's someone who throws a pizza up. They go, Mamma Mia.
No, a Mamma Mia is three women or 3 men and a woman singing and dancing on like a dock or whatever.
Okay, well, is he singing songs from the smash hit musical Mamma Mia or Mamma Mia 2?
That is a great question.
No, he is not. He's making the dough in a bread maker.
Can you?
Wow.
Whoa.
Then he is going to make a pizza from some sauce that he made yesterday.
Oh, he made his own sauce too?
Yeah.
Oh,
Anyway,
huge.
I want to say all of this was completely unprompted by me.
Nice.
He just decided he wanted pizza.
Good man.
So-
give me a
universe.
man after midnight, am I right?
What? Is that a Mamma Mia song?
Yeah.
That's an ABBA song, at least.
No.
Gimme. That has to be in Mamma Mia.
Or Mamma Mia 2, at least.
I mean, here's the thing about Mamma Mia and Mamma Mia 2. Some of the songs are in both movies.
Ugh, really?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Sure.
But you know what? I love both of those movies, and I love the second one even more.
Is it because Cher's in it?
Yes, Cher is
Yeah.
in it. She doesn't show up for like the last 5 minutes of the movie. She sings the song and then
What?
she's like, "Bye."
Oh,
It's
nice.
amazing.
That's like if does Frozen 2 Let It Go again? How does that work?
Let it go again. Let it go.
Let it go again.
What is you?
I don't know. I
Yeah.
haven't seen it.
What
I
is
guess you
you
could have,
eating?
like, a
is the
repeat.
question I just threw out there
To me.
to anyone.
Okay.
I was
well,
looking at your waveform when I said it, Beth.
Okay, good. I feel like a failure right now because I didn't plan for pizza.
That's okay. This
what
was
I
all
did
spur
plan-
of the moment.
Yes, what I did plan for was having leftovers at my house.
Nice, frugal.
So the other night I went out to dinner and had this was
Another brag.
pre needing to stay inside.
Uh-huh.
I went out to dinner and I got pineapple fried rice. And so I have
Nice.
leftover pineapple fried rice that I am very excited about eating.
Yeah, excellent choice. That shit
Yeah.
makes for good leftovers.
Mhm.
Yeah. For some reason it's even better the second day, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
It's
what's
all
up with
steeped
that?
together. All those juices.
Hey, Molly.
Yeah.
Just because of my own personal knowledge, can you let your husband know that Beth is eating that so he regrets his own pizza?
Oh, he will. He
Yeah.
he loves pineapple fried rice. It's one of
Yeah.
his favorites.
Yeah. Like, I just want to see him just like really dejectedly like punch the dough.
I will do
Before
what I
you-
can.
Thank you.
Mamma Mia.
Yeah.
No.
I could have had pineapple fried rice. Like that ABBA song.
song.
I haven't decided yet. So this will be a bit of a
Ooh.
cliffhanger.
Wow.
Teaser.
Cliffhanger.
Teaser alert. I love it. I love it.
There is frozen pizza available to me if I so choose to make it. But I was leaning towards eating leftover chili.
Mhm.
And because Molly, my parents are divorced, because my stepfather is from the Cincinnati area, I grew up eating chili with spaghetti,
Oh, shit.
which I will do, and then cheese on top.
Wait.
So-
Wait. So you spaghetti like noodles and then you put the chili in it?
You put chili on top, and you put cheese on top of that.
Yeah, I've heard
That
of this.
sounds great, honestly.
It's great.
Is it,
It's awesome.
It's actually called Cincinnati chili, right?
Yeah, I think that might be a 3-way if you go to Skyline Chili.
Whoa.
What?
The vernacular at that particular chili establishment is to refer to things
I see.
number of components as a way. So like a 3-way, I think, is spaghetti, chili, and cheese. I'm out of my
Got it.
depth here, but then like
Yeah.
a 5-way has also onions and some other thing.
Is this in Philly or is this in Cincinnati?
Cincinnati,
Okay.
where my stepfather, Molly, my parents are divorced, hailed from. So he brought that into our life,
I see. Very good.
along with companionship from my mother. So
My
kind of in a
stepmother taught
way,
me about egg in the hole.
egg in the
What?
hole.
Yeah.
Oh, I was called that. Well, go ahead. I was called that an egg's nest or bird's
Oh,
nest.
that's fun.
Oh, where you cut the bread and then
Yeah.
put an egg in it?
Yeah, bird's nest.
That's good.
Bird's nest is more fun. Well,
Jinx.
Toad
I don't know.
Toad in the hole.
Yeah.
Toad
What?
the wet sprocket.
Toad and Frog, that story where they drive a car.
So the
Oh,
movie
yeah,
we're watching
that's
is
what
Legally Blonde.
Yes,
Yeah, well, I
correct.
had one more thing to say about my spaghetti, if you don't mind.
Okay, sure.
I just feel like it is, in a way, it's a pizza parallel. We got a carby bready
Careful.
on the bottom.
Tread carefully.
We got a tomato-y middle,
Mhm.
and we got a cheesy top.
What else is in that chili, though?
Beans, onions.
Mhm.
Those are like toppings.
Yeah,
You know,
Yeah.
bean pizza?
it's like a bean and onion pizza.
You ever had a bean pizza?
Cincinnati
So
pizza.
corn in there?
Oh boy, this is getting less and less like pizza.
Corn would be good on pizza.
Depends on the pizza.
Well, it's a popular topping in Japan where I lived for 2 years. No big deal.
Wow.
Wow.
Molly, what should we rate this movie, Legally Blonde?
We should rate it with the
What
number
kind of cheese?
Oh, cheddar.
All right. Oh, it's not a pizza at all.
Well, it's a cheddar bean pizza.
Not even an Italian cheese.
Oh, Mamma Mia.
Oh boy. The Mamma Mia, the equivalent of Mamma Mia from the Midwest of America. I don't know. Oh boy.
Oofta?
Oh gosh. Maybe Oofta.
Oh.
I don't know. Oh gosh.
Okay.
Oh,
Our rating
geez.
scale
Yes.
is Brewster pizzas.
What?
Brewster?
Okay.
Brewster's
listen.
the dog.
Thank
Is
you.
it
Brewster's
teaser?
Millions?
No, like the dog in the movie that we're about to
She
watch.
has a pet chihuahua named Brewster.
Okay,
Clearly,
so
Molly and I have seen this movie.
already
one
nailed
minute.
it. I've already nailed it. She has a little dog. You're welcome.
Yes, you're welcome.
Okay. The dog's name
Oh,
is Brewster.
Jaquette's bet that's a chihuahua.
Oh,
No,
she said that.
no, she already said it.
Oh, I didn't hear it. I was thinking about
Listen to
my
women
bean
dance.
pizza.
Listen to-
Even if you can't see them, listen to women. So what are we doing, Molly?
how
Sorry.
many Brewster pizzas?
Okay.
So this is a pizza that is for Brewster the Chihuahua, or it's
It is a
meant to look
pizza
like Brewster the Chihuahua?
That both. It is a
or-
pizza shaped like Brewster,
Oh, okay.
and that Brewster can also enjoy.
Terrifying.
Brewster
He's
also.
consuming his own image?
Oh my god! What are you doing?
I mean, I would eat a birthday cake that had my face on it.
Yeah.
Oh, like in what way though? Like it's like
I don't know.
molded to look like your head, or it's just got a picture printed on the frosting?
A picture.
Okay.
Which part of your face do you cut the first then?
I mean, I would cut it into squares, and then whatever I get. You know.
I mean, I would
all
definitely
right.
take the eyes for myself because that just feels like a weird like blood magic thing, right? Where
Yeah.
like I'm giving someone else power over me if I gave them my
So-
eyes.
if
that's
somebody
legit.
eats
That's legit.
your eyes,
Yeah.
they take your soul.
May I just say, in almost 6 years of doing this podcast, I have never regretted a rating scale until now.
Come on.
Oh, that's
Here,
a good
let
one.
me see if we can bring it back. I have a follow-up question for you.
Great.
Is Brewster on the pizza box? And if so, is Brewster dressed up like an Italian chef?
Oh,
Well,
yeah. Great question.
I'm really glad you brought that up because immediately what I pictured was Brewster on the pizza box wearing a little bandana that
Oh.
is red and white checkered.
Yep.
Yeah.
And maybe his
Accurate.
little paws up near his.
Yeah, like he's
What?
he's sort of like reaching up to wave. Yeah.
Like he's going, Mamma Mia.
Mamma
Say
Mia.
Mamma Mia?
Yes,
Oh.
I did.
Oh,
Yeah,
Beth,
wait.
I would high five you so hard right now if we weren't deliberately distancing ourselves from each other.
Agree.
And with that, we're going to hit
Wait,
pause.
we never rated what
We
we
have
thought
no
the movie was
even
going to be.
rating.
Wow. Wow. Molly's
Well,
in her own
let's pick up
little
the
world.
pace.
Holy shit.
I want
Jesus
to see
Christ.
this movie.
Molly, hold on. Hold on.
Cool it,
Molly.
Molly.
Have you been on Wikipedia this whole time? Have you just been checking Wikipedia this whole time?
She's like, I know how this movie goes. I can read the summary right here.
Okay.
All right,
first
Dan,
of
you're
all-
first.
Okay, first of all, Molly, I love this rating scale.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, I've never seen this movie, but I'm told by my wife that I should feel bad about that. She says she's seen it multiple times. She's looking forward to watching it with me. She's still mad that she is not on the podcast and she's actually seen it. We'll talk about it. And I don't know, this feels like one of those movies, especially for people our age, is sort of like a pop cultural touchstone from whenever it came out.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna guess it's at least like enjoyable, even if it's not like necessarily gonna hold up. So I'm gonna say I'm gonna order 4 pizzas from Brewster.
Oh, you're going to love Brewster.
I bet I will.
And he is at no point in any danger. It's a fantastic
Oh, that's why you
movie.
love this movie. Okay. Is he
Yep.
in legal danger
Yep.
though? Is he in legal danger?
Does he have to go to dog court?
Oh, there is. Oh, I'll save it. But there is a dog that is saved through legal maneuvers. So
Yes.
That's
you're not
true.
far off.
Great. Beth?
I really love this movie, and I will watch it for the 101st time tonight. So let's say 5 Brewster pizzas.
Great.
Great.
I feel pretty similarly to Dan. I don't remember how I felt about it when I watched it, and but I hear it's good. It seems like a movie that will surprise me, and I will like 4 pizzas.
Oh, wow.
All right.
Stepping out in faith. I love
We're
it.
trying, Molly. We're really
I
trying.
really appreciate it.
Feel bold.
I got a lot of room to go down.
Oh, wow. Fine. Well, I think at this point, I've hyped it up enough that if I predicted anything less than 5 Brewster pizzas, it would seem odd. I almost want, you know what, though? I'm going to do a cowardly 4.5 Brewster pizzas.
Whoa.
Wait.
I already
went
wrote
all
5.
in with 5.
Did you already write down 5?
I did, but I'm going to
Do we
scratch it out.
even know if you're writing stuff down?
No, you don't.
No.
Here.
And here's the reason.
Please don't shuffle the paper in front of the microphone.
Now you know.
Well,
I
no,
don't
that
know
just
that.
tells us you have paper. It doesn't
Yeah.
tell us you're writing anything down that we need
Okay.
written down.
You could have just grabbed a ream.
How dare you? I never grab a ream without asking.
Oh. Okay, you know what? I'll stick with my 5. I will just
Okay.
tell you, part of me is
Scribbled up to 5 already.
is bracing for disappointment potentially.
But you're bracing more for being disappointed in us than the movie, right?
Well, no, I'll just be disappointed. Your ratings will go down.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not by much because we're friends. So yeah,
Oh, wait, you mean our personal ratings?
Oh, wow.
I never knew that was on the table.
I didn't either.
this whole time?
Oh, my God.
Do you keep a log of how you feel about us after every record that you update?
It's an Excel spreadsheet, and
Oh, geez.
Holy shit.
I have to say it evens out over time. So we're cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
All
reassuring.
Oh, okay. And with that, we're going to hit pause, eat pizza and various things, watch Legally Blonde, and we'll be right back. And we're back. We just watched 97 minutes
Yep.
of pure joy,
Wow.
also
Wow,
known
wow,
as
wow.
Legally Blonde.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's true. And before we jump into it, beloved segment, 60-second summary.
6X up.
6X up happens.
Yeah, correct.
Is anybody feeling particularly inspired?
I feel too close to it. I feel way
Okay.
too close. I think it should be somebody else.
We'll do it because I'm very good at it.
Okay,
Okay.
I agree. I will start the clock. Are you ready?
I am ready.
I will start the clock from miles away.
Ooh.
Ready and go.
Okay, so we've got an Elle Woods envelope in a bicycle basket, maybe?
Oh, bless us.
And we see a picture is painted of a sorority. Lots of blonde ladies are doing their thing. And we see Elle Woods. She's preparing for something. What's she preparing for? To go meet her boyfriend who she thinks is going to propose. But instead, he breaks up with her. It's a disaster because he's going to Harvard Law.
30 seconds.
And oh shit. So she goes to Harvard Law to get him, but then she gets him back. And everybody's mean to her first, but then she's actually smart, but she's still fancy. And then there's a murder trial that she uses her unique skill set to blow wide open. And then she's head of her
10
class.
seconds.
And Luke Wilson is there, and he's sort of a teacher, but sort of not. They fall in love, and Jennifer Coolidge is amazing.
Time.
Wow.
When
Wow.
you say she
Wow.
got him back, you meant for revenge, right?
I mean both. It transitions.
She
but the
does
way-
kind of get him back.
But like the way he said it, it sounded like it happened way earlier in the movie.
Well, I started to panic.
I mean, she definitely got him
I
back.
bet it was hard because now you could see the 60 seconds pass.
Oh, I
We couldn't see it
closed
on
my eyes
our
while I did that to
digital.
Oh,
try and
nice.
focus. It
Oh.
didn't help me.
Wow.
I mean, she definitely got him back revenge style early in the movie.
Yeah. I mean, but
Yeah.
she does go to get him back.
Yes. Yeah.
into re-romanticize him.
Yeah, we all heard this up the first half.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
We already talked about these double meetings.
I love that moment so much when she's like, I'll never be good enough for you.
Oof.
And then
Yes.
she just is like, you know what? I'm going to be good enough for me. And then
Fuck
she goes and
you.
buys that
Oh.
awesome
Musical
orange
montage.
laptop.
Yep.
It's amazing.
God, that laptop. Like, can you imagine if someone were to present a laptop of that shape now? They would be laughed out of E3. Like,
Yeah.
It is like, as I was looking at it, I was like, this laptop is like, why is it's not like square.
no.
No.
It's like round.
It's like
Yeah.
a small
Very strange.
child was trying to render a laptop, like daddy's laptop or mommy's laptop.
It's like if you went to Target and tried to buy a kid like one of those toy laptops, that's what it would look
Well,
like.
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
when their entire line looked like candy,
Yes.
Right.
right? Because you could also
Yeah.
get an iMac for your desktop.
Right.
That would-
And then I
mean,
feel like they really
Yeah.
kept that going with the shuffles. Remember the original square
Yeah,
shuffles?
that's true. I
Yep.
guess in the early
Shuffles?
2000s.
iPod shuffles.
yeah.
2001. In 2001, Dan, very good.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I mean, to be fair, he only got 2001 because none of us guessed it.
that's true.
Yeah. Hey, I was smart enough to wait
That's
until
true.
the other years
Okay.
were taken.
All right, now I know the strategy.
Well, my bet that I was embarrassingly late in my 20s was
Yes.
correct. Because
Uh-huh,
I was
uh-huh.
27 or 28 when this came out.
Okay.
But I still really loved Elle Woods. And I love
Yeah.
this movie.
I mean, by the end of the movie, she's about your age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know,
Well,
I mean, no, not at all,
she's
actually.
probably like 24, right?
What? What are you talking about?
Her character?
Yeah.
At the end of the movie?
You graduate college at what, like 21? Law school's 3 years?
Yeah, she's probably like 24, 25 because she's going to make partner by the time she's 30.
All right.
Yeah.
Hmm.
No, I had my
Lawyered.
window for
Yeah, I
going
did
to
get
Harvard
lawyered.
Law
Fine.
sadly had passed.
It's never
way.
too late.
It's never too
Hey,
late. It's never
Teens?
too late. Teens?
Or not even teens? 30-year-olds?
Boomers.
Boomers. It's
Get
never
out
too late
there.
to go to law school, but also
Yeah.
the market's saturated. Don't go.
Anyway, all I was trying to say is that back in 2001, Apple was trying to be more like, hey, we're like the cool, fun computer company, not now where it's like, you will consume what we give you.
Well, you know what though, because they had Macs at school, like that's what we in the computer lab, and I remember them having all those like those candy colored
Yeah.
computers, and I hated them so much. They were so slow and awful, and now I feel the opposite. I'm like anytime I have to use a Windows computer, I'm like, ugh, I hate this.
Wow, shots
Yeah.
fired.
But I
Shots
did.
fired.
I fired some shots, but I'm impartial. I've got my 10-year-old MacBook.
Wait, you have a 10-year-old MacBook and you're mad that other computers are slow?
Yeah, guess what? I updated my hard drive and my RAM, and now it's pretty
Oh,
fast.
Nice. Good job.
It's
Thank
Teens?
you.
been Tech Talk.
Upgrade.
I do want to go real quick before we get much further. Dan, who had never seen this movie, made
Yes.
some quick bets, and I want to
Oh,
run,
please.
see what
Yeah.
you nailed and didn't nail.
Great.
Reese Witherspoon is in this movie.
Crushed
Yes,
it.
nailed it.
Yes,
Ariana Grande made a video kind of inspired by this.
Yes.
Can't
that
comment.
is true. Yeah.
Okay.
We confirmed
but
it
did she do
because
the-
my wife
Okay.
watched it earlier and I wanted
Okay.
to watch it.
Was it the you watched her watch it?
Yeah.
You didn't
Like you're on
watch.
the other side of the screen, just staring at her,
No, I was in the kitchen
cooking
where
up some.
men belong.
Doing what? Okay.
I don't know. I
My
don't
question
remember.
is it's the bend and snap scene that is in that music video,
It's
right?
a bunch of different scenes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, because there is the part where she's in the pool, like in the
Yeah, and there's
video,
the part
right?
where she's talking to Jennifer Coolidge in a salon.
Really?
Like Jennifer Coolidge
gotta watch this
in the
video.
music video.
It's a fun video, I remember.
It is a fun video.
Right?
Fun video, good track.
Yeah.
That's
Nice
great.
job, Ariana.
Grande.
But also, like, maybe ask your ex-boyfriends that you're going to mention them in a very popular song. It's fine.
Oh.
Ooh, shots fired.
Ugh.
Maybe.
Wow.
I don't know.
Yep.
Anyway,
She's a SoCal upper class classy lady. Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
Is it firmly established that she's in SoCal? I mean, it's got that vibe.
Well,
but-
she says when
LA.
she she
Okay.
gets sexually harassed later in the movie, "Ugh," she says, "I'm moving back to Los
Oh
Angeles."
yeah.
Oh yeah, she's definitely from SoCal.
Mhm.
And then also I think that the whole classy thing is really interesting, right? Because in some ways, like she's set up as sort of like the Tropicana girl,
I don't know
and
what that
things
means.
that just
Tropicana girl.
Tropicana,
The juice?
suntan lotion.
Oh, because she was described that way in the summary of the movie from the streaming service that I use. And I
The
didn't know what
streaming
that
service
meant.
basically quotes a whole bunch of the movie. But so like basically a swimsuit model.
Oh.
So like it's just interesting that classy was the word you chose. Whereas
Did I choose the word classy or did Dan paraphrase?
I felt like you said classy, but I don't know.
No way to know.
It was many minutes
We'll
ago.
never know. We definitely don't have a recording of that we can listen back to.
I don't know. I think I meant, if nothing else, I just meant like pretty well off.
Yeah.
I guess tweet at us, hashtag Dan Classy or hashtag Dan Classy, depending on which Dan.
Exactly. We'll know. We'll
know. We'll just feel it.
Yep.
Dan, just to be clear, I'm not bringing it up to give you a hard time. I'm bringing it up because that's.
I feel like you bring up most things to give me a hard time, but okay.
But no, that is the whole point, right? Is that she's wealthy and she's at the top of what she could be for her environment.
Right.
But she's placed in this other environment that looks down on everything she values. Right? It's like new money versus old money.
Totally.
Right? That's the point of being old money, is that you can exclude everyone forevermore, right?
Right.
You are earth-toned clothing.
You are the whitest person in the universe.
Yeah, for sure. Although, I think the Vanderbilts are pretty white too. It's just an extra way to be snobby.
Well, the Vanderbilts are old money, right?
Yes, old money. Very old money.
Very white.
And very white. Yeah.
Anderson Cooper, look at him. He's like a fucking ice elf.
Oh, he's incredible. Oh.
Yes.
Amazing. Oh.
Molly.
Molly's has the same feeling.
Is this some jawline talk? Are we talking jawlines?
Listen, Anderson Cooper is not interested in me.
Right.
To be really clear about that.
Well, but like you guys could hang out.
I have been in the same employee cafeteria as him at the same time.
What did he eat?
If the Christmas party was big enough, you might have bumped into each other.
Fish sticks?
We might have, and then he would have been like, "I'm
Mexican
gay."
pizza. Italian
Please
dunkers.
stop staring at me.
He could probably talk to people he's not romantically interested in.
Listen,
can't do it.
Dan, my joke is that I would be so obsessed it would be awkward to not just address what was happening.
Oh, so like if you saw Anderson Cooper, you would feel compelled to be like, "You're very attractive."
I would try to be cooler about it than that.
Honestly, you probably wouldn't be the first. You probably wouldn't be the first.
I know. Listen, I'm just saying he's dreamy.
Oh man!
And also, for a myriad of reasons, it's never going to happen.
Sure, this is a very random.
It wouldn't happen, and it's definitely not going to.
Right, very random.
But did it?
But did it though?
Dish.
Dish.
When I was in Scotland in high school, NBD,
wow.
Peter Jennings was leaning on a lamppost, great lean, smoking a pipe.
Wow.
And everybody was kind of like, "Oh, that guy." But one of our chaperones, like a middle-aged woman, just goes very loudly, like very loud enough where he definitely heard it, just goes, "Oh my God, it's Peter Jennings." And he was cool as a cucumber and just kept smoking his pipe, leaning on that lamppost, and it was badass.
Wow.
Also, he died of, I think, lung cancer. So,
no.
Teens?
Yeah, teens.
No smoking.
Pipes were cool, but,
Pipes are cool.
just lean on the lamppost. Just lean on the
get a bubble
lamppost.
pipe or something.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of Legally Blonde, there are great leads in this movie.
Incredible leads in this movie.
UPS guy, who I don't think we ever get his name, right?
No,
he's named UPS guy.
Yeah, like literally in the end of the here's what happened, everybody, at the end of the movie, Chiron's, he's even just UPS guy.
Yeah, he comes in. UPS guy is Jennifer Coolidge is interested in him, and he's interested in her.
Yes.
But when we see him, he comes in, does just almost like a 45-degree angle lean onto the front counter of this nail salon.
He is presenting his backside like a bonobo in heat.
Oh my word.
Yeah. I really appreciate that character.
I do too.
He's like, I don't know, it's just like perfect casting to be like, he's like just like irradiating sexuality, but in like the right kind of way to match Jennifer Coolidge, right?
Yeah.
And they're both like working class hotness.
Yeah, and he's not doing it in like a creepy way where it's like he's not that he doesn't like he doesn't. It's not that he doesn't think he's attractive, but he's not like. I don't know. I don't really know how to describe it. Like he's not like wielding it for power, if that makes sense.
Yeah. He's just like, hey. Like he just like kind of lifts his chin and that's his
Yes. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
his pickup line.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
And all the innuendos about his penis.
Package.
I guess.
Package.
There was a lot of pecker talk in this.
Why did we
this
settle on
movie.
pecker talk again?
That's how Coolidge refers to it first, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she says something about like he couldn't keep his pecker to himself or something when she's talking
Yeah.
about her ex-boyfriend.
Oh,
I
right,
think she says he let his pecker out to greener pastures.
So
Yes, that is what she
Yes.
said. Oh, Coolidge. God damn it.
a little bit of behind the scenes. When we watched the movie, since we're all in different locations, we texted each other
Yes.
during the movie, and we developed several hashtags, including hashtag pecker talk.
Uh-huh.
There's so much pecker talk in this movie.
There really is.
and I feel like, just because it
Wasn't
did
that
not
one of my
make it
bets
into-
too?
I think it was.
Oh, yeah. In the nail salon, there's going to be some penis talk.
Yes.
You-
Thank you, Ariana.
Nailed it.
My.
just to catch anyone who's not seen Legally Blonde 100 times up, it was missing from the 60-second summary. But one of the
Wow.
side, well, it's pretty crucial, and we're talking a lot about it. We have not explained
Okay, let's go.
that Elle Woods, they established early in the movie, takes refuge at nail salons. And so when
Right.
she's at the height of being upset
Yes.
about the Warner situation, she
Yes.
makes a U-turn into the salon and quickly befriends Coolidge, who she later assists in getting her dog back
Oh,
and getting
good
revenge
dog.
from her ex. Yeah. So
Good.
good.
Great
Dog in this movie.
Oh, amazing. Really
Yeah.
terrific. It was like the opposite of Animal Danger.
Right?
It was like animal elevation, 100%.
Like Bruiser was like Bruiser the Chihuahua. What? By the way, it's Bruiser, not Brewster.
His name is
Sorry,
Bruiser,
everybody. Bruiser the Chihuahua is like Elle's like familiar, and it's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And then I don't remember Coolidge's dog name, but it was so good. It was had like an
Rufus.
underbite. What was it?
Was it Rufus?
I
No.
don't know.
That sounds
It's in the neighborhood
Right?
of that.
I don't know. It was a good dog though. All like wrinkly and like had a big underbite and had like
Oh.
a little spot on one of his eyes.
Such a cute dog.
Good dog. And then they were best friends for the rest of the movie. Are you kidding me?
yeah.
They're in the
that's
same
great.
dog bed,
Dog?
just hanging out.
Oh, so good.
Oh, speaking of the dogs, I screamed out loud when we cut to it's like maybe in a montage,
Mhm.
but Bruiser is watching TV and
Oh.
the Yo Quiero Taco Bell dog comes on,
Also, I also screamed out loud.
and Bruiser just starts barking like crazy at it,
Yeah.
and that was amazing. But then also I was thrown back to a time of that ad campaign, which is still
Right.
burned into my brain.
Yeah. We'll never forget that.
Yeah,
Yeah, never forget.
That's the only thing we'll never forget from
Oh,
2000.
Ooh.
It's fine.
Oh,
It's fine.
no.
No, it's fine. It's 20 years later. You can say that.
Okay, not too soon.
But yeah, no. When the dog started barking at Taco Bell dog, I literally just went, "What? What?" I was so excited.
Yeah.
It's so great is that Bruiser is gay. So
I guess.
Bruiser was excited about the dog.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well,
And
okay,
that-
so that is a plot point of the second movie. I remembered while we
really?
were watching it. Yes, she finds out that her dog is gay, and then like they get married at the end? The two
I
dogs.
think they do. I'm pretty
Which
sure.
dogs?
Yeah.
The Taco Bell dog?
No, he falls in love with
Oh.
another dog.
Oh,
Okay.
oh, amazing.
Can we take a moment to appreciate the fact that they had to pay for that?
Oh, yeah.
Like they
Yeah.
had to
Sure.
go out and get permission to use the commercial for that one scene?
Or Taco Bell paid them.
Maybe.
Either
Yeah.
way.
That seems more likely to me. Or it was a trade, because
Yeah.
they're like, hey, we'll put your ad for free in our movie.
Put your ad in the movie, and it'll be very positive because our dog character will be very horny for your mascot.
Yeah. I will say, Bruiser's sexuality
Mhm.
was probably the one that was handled the best.
Correct.
I
I,
guess
agree.
His
I agree.
homosexuality.
Yeah,
We'll say.
Yes.
I agree.
The
Yeah.
the gay characters in this movie are just massive problematic
Very
stereotypes.
2001. It's very
Yes.
2001.
Yeah.
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 Just like it's a pivotal moment in the trial when Elle Woods figures out that Enrique the pool boy is actually gay,
Mhm.
and then she traps him with her questioning. And he's just like,
Yeah,
just
and we
this
should
like,
mention how she figures out that he's gay.
oh, because he knows what year Prada shoes she's got
or
on.
just even knows that they're Prada shoes. Like
Yeah.
she literally says like gay men know labels, straight
Yeah.
men don't.
Yeah. And then he's just a caricature of like a flamboyant Latino homosexual.
And then the one lesbian character is another law student who is
yeah.
the joke is literally like, she's a militant feminist. LOL.
Yeah, they really hit that hard.
Joke.
Although I'm not trying to defend 2001, but they painted all of her law student companions with very broad strokes.
Yes,
yeah,
I agree.
Like the one guy who was like, I'm basically a genius.
Yes. It's just unfortunate. Yeah. It's unfortunate though that like it's a shame that they made her. I almost wish they didn't like specifically call her out as being a lesbian.
Yeah, because she could have been a women's studies
way
major.
more of a cliche, like a problematic cliche. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah. But hey, 2001, whatever.
2001, baby.
Anything goes. Here's all the white people and the one black guy that a professor literally taps on the head as a prop in a power move.
Yeah.
It's fine.
The other thing, they also dropped the R word at one point.
Oh
yeah. It's a shitty character that does that though, right?
No, it's Colette.
Oh, Coolidge does it, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you just hear the beginning of it. It gets clipped off because UPS comes in swinging his package around.
Yeah.
I honestly think that that part was probably improvised, which is this part that's unfortunate.
Yeah. I mean, at least Coolidge is
like
supposed
it's probably
to be...
like she says something and then gets interrupted by someone walking through the door.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess at least she's supposed to, like, at least she's written as sort of like an uncouth, kind of tactless person.
Yeah.
Because then it's at least like you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I mean, this is a conversation for more than just this movie, but like, there's definitely something to be said for like the character's level of social grace versus like whether the movie is even aware of it, which is kind of hard to tell with this particular thing, but
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, 2001.
2001. I mean, yeah, Luke Wilson's got hair curtains.
Oh yeah, baby.
That are also sort of a mullet.
Beth, can we talk about Luke Wilson, Beth?
That's cruel.
Yes, please.
Beth, you have the floor.
Okay.
Watch yourself, counsel.
He is very cute in this movie.
He is. He's very
cute. His hair is I didn't remember the part about his part, I guess.
It could be way worse, to be fair.
It could be way worse, but it's not a good look for him. That cut is not good. But he's super cute and he's super charming and like sweet to Elle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's great.
He is
and
actually.
then I really like that part at the end where they're like, you know, she's like just gave her speech and it keeps cutting back to him and it's like he's about to propose to her tonight or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just feel like he's really admiring her for being like who she is and being smart. And I think that is probably something that I really liked about him in that movie.
I do kind of wish that there was like a last little stinger where after they said he was going to propose tonight, and then there was like a little, like when they cut back to her, I was kind of hoping they were going to have a last little stinger that's like she's going to delay it or something to focus on her career. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just because, like, I mean, I get that, like, I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking too critically about this dumb 90-minute movie, but like, just the fact that like that was what put her into law school. It'd be nice if it was sort of like they made it very clear that just like, oh, this is great that she, you know what I mean? Because now, like, the way it ends, it sort of presents as like now she gets what she really wants.
Well, she gets it all. She gets
But like the fact that they closed with it, you know what I'm saying?
I think also, though, we need to give this film a little bit extra credit for where it is in 2001.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this movie is like...
being so uncreepy, right? Because he's not a TA. He's actually not affiliated with her education.
Right.
Yep.
He holds off on dating for a long time. You know what I mean? Like, he's never...
Yeah, I mean,
There's no creep energy towards her. And he believes her when she says that his boss... who presumably has a great reputation, he believes her immediately.
Oh yeah, I mean he specifically calls his boss out as like the best attorney in the state or the best defense attorney in the state, and he still takes her side, which is great.
Yeah.
I'm definitely nitpicking here. Like this movie is like, especially for 2001, is like mostly like doing pretty aces.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about in terms of it's doing a good job in 2001.
Yes.
We were talking about the Me Too moments. There's the big obvious one where Callahan basically is like, hey, sleep with me and you can have this internship.
Yeah, like it's not even, there's no nuance to it
Almost
at all.
exactly that. Yeah.
He literally is like, I know what I want. I'm a powerful white man.
Yeah.
You know what's so interesting is
Creepy.
I just watched Bombshell, which is the story of how things went down at Fox.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that whole speech he gives leading up to where he puts his hand on her knee
Who?
is
Callahan or
fascinating.
Roger Ailes?
Oh, exactly. No, both.
What? Oh,
This
okay.
is the point of what I'm trying to say, is
Oh,
that
okay.
that speech that Callahan gives is so along the lines of what people say.
Like following the script.
Yeah,
Exactly.
to the script of like, I really need someone who's gonna go after this with who's aggressive, who's not gonna let anything hold them back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, employers?
Yeah.
Cool it.
This is
Oh God.
part 2 in our ongoing series of advice for creeps. Knock it off.
Hey, if you're a creep, maybe don't try to employ people.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Don't be a supervisor.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're a
Supervise
creep,
yourself.
Hey,
Yeah.
Hey, if you're a creep, maybe don't hit on someone or make contingent on their progress. Someone who was both Miss America and a classic violinist and top of her class. Like,
What are we talking about now?
What we're talking about, Gretchen.
Oh, we're talking about Bombshell now?
Yeah, we're back
Okay,
on Bombshell.
I haven't seen it.
Well, the point is, like, these women who got harassed were all top of their class.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful, amazing, accomplished people. And all of that accomplishment, all it got them was the opportunity to be sexually harassed for the opportunity to get on TV. Like, it is so messed up. I'm really mad. And I just want both the year 2020 and the year 2001 to know that Molly is unhappy.
You are on notice.
Wow.
You're on notice, creeps.
Put you on blast, creeps.
Yeah.
But the other one thing I want to talk about, which I wouldn't say is subtle in this movie, but it's sort of the lesser one, is the like how Vivian, played by Selma Blair, is always told to go get coffee or duck sauce or whatever.
Did you just say Selman Blair?
Selma Blair?
Okay.
Is that her name?
Yes.
Yeah.
The second time, yes.
I nailed it. There's no way to
Sam
know.
and Blair.
Sam and Blair. Played by the two people, Sam and Blair.
No, I agree. I really liked their relationship as a, like, her character's arc was very cool.
Yeah, but that like thing of this is not new now in 2020 to anybody, I don't think. But of like always the and Molly's probably talked about it before on this, but always the female employee having to go get the coffee or whatever, being treated as both like in a secretary position as well as a
their actual position.
Secretary's actual jobs, but you know what I mean,
But
like
I mean,
partner
that
equal
person's
whatever.
actual position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I had a job where that was true for me, and I said something about it, and they were like, everybody has to pull their weight around here, and I was so mad.
Yeah, it's so gross. But what I was thinking, it was like in 2001 when I was 19 or whatever, I was completely unaware of this dynamic, which I obviously existed then and now and hey, forever patriarchy.
Hey.
But I want to give the movie credit for it, of like very much calling it out in a fairly matter-of-fact way of like, this is what's happening. And I don't think they leaned on it hard to make it super dramatic, but also didn't like it was illustrated well, I think.
Yeah, it's almost like they got two accomplished women to write the screenplay.
Yeah, it is almost like that.
Yeah.
Is that what happened?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Wait, we didn't talk about, so in the first half we forgot to talk about the Bechdel Wallace.
Oh,
it's true.
And it passes with flying colors.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yep. I think this is the first time ever in our entire podcast history of forgetting to do the Bechdel Wallace.
Yeah.
We've been thrown.
Yep.
Well, I guess what we've learned.
Situation.
Yeah, I guess what we've learned is the way that we have trained ourselves to remember to talk about Bechdel Wallace is to make direct eye contact with each other. Apparently,
I can't currently see any women talking to each other, so I'm not thinking about it at all.
Right. That's a good point. That's a great point.
even our computer system that we're using tried to make it so we couldn't do this because for some reason, when we first pulled it up, the Dans could hear everyone and talk to each other, but I almost said Beth. No, Molly and I I am Beth.
Yes, thank you for clarifying.
Couldn't hear each other.
Yeah. We could both hear the Dans, but not each other. What does that mean, computer?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Do you think that's an AI that's like just taking things off of like how things usually go?
Oh yeah, it can't be sexist. It's an algorithm. We just fed it existing data and it's perfect.
Oh, if it were IA, we could have said it puts the IA in patriarchy. But
what?
It's AI.
Oh, I see.
Oh boy.
Oh
boy.
Missed joke. Can we talk about the screenwriters?
That was a long walk, Molly.
Well, it was a long walk to a terrible end.
Short pier.
A long walk to a short pier.
Yeah. Well, now we're here at the pier.
Oh,
look at that. Glad that we can get to the end of it. Pretty
the lake's so clear.
Puts the pier in patriarchy.
Oh boy.
Yep. You're crushing it. You're crushing it, Molly.
Wow.
I want everyone listening at home to picture Molly cackling alone in her basement so she doesn't wake her daughter.
This is so true.
Cackling at her own joke.
Molly, you wanted to talk about the screenwriters and how they were two women.
Yeah.
Yes, I certainly do. And I can't remember if I've mentioned before that I was at a film festival with one of the screenwriters. No big deal.
Braggy.
Thank you. Kirsten Smith was part of a comedy writing team with Karen McCullough. And they wrote not only Legally Blonde and House Bunny, but She's the Man and Ella Enchanted and a bunch of movies right around this time. They were all
I kind of love all those movies.
So they were making bank in the early 2000s.
Yeah, they were. And what was so cool is it was the Austin Film Festival, which has a pretty heavy screenwriting bent. And there was this really cool woman who entered like this tent or this reception area and was wearing this awesome outfit. It's like a suit. I still remember, and had like 2-color hair and just seemed so badass. And I felt like such a fraud for even being there. And she was so nice to me and like went out of her way to chat. And in some ways was sort of like Elle Woods in that she clearly had been dropped from somewhere else into a festival of introverts. And it was just so cool. She was very dynamic and funny, and she gave a great talk. Anyway, so I'm a big fan of hers. And I keep forgetting that she wrote all of these movies. So, and she also wrote 10 Things I Hate About You. So every time I
maybe
love
you did bring
movies,
her up again.
I'm like,
then.
oh yeah, I have brought her up before because she's amazing.
That's interesting. Yeah. This movie reminded me a lot of 10 Things I Hate About You. And maybe
you mentioned that if you saw a group of cowboys, you would lose your mind.
Yeah, and I didn't, and I was sad.
But
the background characters were amazing.
Yeah, there was definitely some strong cowboy energy at the beginning. Like there was a chance. There was a good chance, but it didn't happen.
There's a lot of cowboy potential. But just I don't know, maybe it's the similar screenwriters, or maybe it's just like 2001 comedies about sort of college or high school or whatever. But just it feels like everybody is very broad, and like there's a lot of pastel, and I don't know, they just have the same vibe of like, shirtless bros wrestling in the front yard, and then everybody with kind of like a distinct pattern of clothing.
Yeah.
Well, having gone to the University of Georgia between the years of 1992 to 1996 and living on fraternity and sorority row, I would say it's not that far off. I mean, there were a lot of there were plenty of times I'd be riding the, the campus bus down Millage, which is like the fraternity sorority row street. And you would just drive by scenes that look straight out of a movie with a bunch of dudes in the front yard playing football with like somebody grilling and then people sitting like on the porch and like hanging from rafters and shit. Like it felt very much, it's almost to me like I've always wondered about fraternities in particular, if they don't exist to perpetuate, like movies are sort of both a mirror and an aspiration.
Mm-hmm.
And so the cycle just continues year after year after year because people are doing what they think you're supposed to be doing in fraternities.
Oh, for sure. That's
or
definitely happening.
that movies get it right, or both. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know that they were more clothed. On the other hand, had I gone to school in Southern California, I don't know. We need one of our listeners to chime in.
Or if Dan wants to just throw out some California opinion, that's...
Well,
But
I mean,
he's
I
Northern
grew up in
California.
Northern California.
I
It's a
know.
completely different part of the state.
I know.
But and it actually made me think a lot about fraternity and sorority life. And one of my biggest regrets is not pledging
Really?
for a sorority. I should have done it.
Well, interesting.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Or I should have at least gone through Rush. At the University of Georgia, Rush was 10 days before classes started, which meant you had to have 10 days worth of outfits and shoes and hair and makeup. And it was a pretty intense time because there's so many Greek, what do you call it? Greek groups. I don't know. Sororities. Like 20 or something. It's a lot. And so all of the parties and the touring. And at the time I was such a hippie. I wasn't like shaving my legs and my hair was super long. And I was very into Nirvana. And I remember my mom asking me if I
Classic
wanted to
hippie band.
pledge.
Yes.
Yeah, classic hippie band. But you know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't
Mhm,
I wasn't technically a hippie, but by sorority standards, I was not even on the map. And the whole idea of getting prepared for that was so overwhelming and insane to me. I was just like, there's no way. But in hindsight, like how often would I have gotten a glimpse into that world?
Mm-hmm.
Like to do a full on tour of what that would have been like. And later on, I would get to know some tri-delts and I was like, holy crap, I would have loved to have been a tri-delt, but I just had such reverse snobbery that I wouldn't even try it. So that's
if you are a
Even
tri-delt, an active tri-delt, and you want to, if you want to give Molly an honorary membership, tweet at us.
Yeah, tweet us. Hashtag Molly Tri-Delt.
And at least like send her a t-shirt or something.
Yeah.
Or like something more practical.
Put your secret handshake in emojis.
Oh,
yes.
man. Anybody who's been in a sorority has a box full of old event t-shirts. I am sure somebody has a tri-delt shirt they would let
There you
me.
go.
Anyway, that was more in the weeds than I meant to get, but you get the idea.
I went to a small, crunchy college, and there was still Greek life, but I don't know, they just seemed really dumb.
Mm.
But it was also like where the parties were, so you'd still go there.
Sure.
I don't know. I got asked to Rush, and I declined, so no big deal.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, is it because they were like, hey, we heard your dad can get free cable for life?
It's awesome, man. We've been watching the show on A&E. So good. Yeah.
But, the women in the sororities at Georgia really did wear pearls, like even jogging. Like that was a thing. Always wear pearls.
I don't think I have ever had an interest in that. And I don't really understand what sororities are. Like they all live in a house, but like, what is Rush Week? I still don't understand what that is.
I thought you knew how movies work, Beth.
I do, but in movies, it's like, come join our club. Try it out.
Montage.
And then it's like, you're invited or not invited.
Yeah,
and
then someone gets
now you
murdered.
And now either someone gets murdered or somebody needs to save the house that the sorority is in.
Now there are snobs and or slobs.
There's usually,
Slobs.
usually there's like a, one of the sororities is like better than the other sorority, and that sorority has to prove to the other sorority that they're just as good, if not better.
Yeah.
Are they like
There's some organized
Hogwarts
competition.
houses?
What?
Yeah, I guess. Well, no,
But
yes
like
and no.
everybody's in them. I guess no one's not in a house.
No, remember
Those are
that?
more like,
You remember that scene in the first Harry Potter book where the Gryffindors give Harry a beer enema on the first night? 'Cause
Butterbeer enema, it
You're
was.
right.
Oh.
But then he has
Yeah.
to go to the medical wing because he gets butter poisoning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember
And
that.
then Dumbledore has to ban houses for that term.
I do remember that.
Yep.
Yeah, it was surprisingly dark for that first book. I mean,
Yeah.
they say it gets darker as the series goes on, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I get why parents won't let their kids read it.
Oh yeah, Harry Potter and the Pledge of Stone.
Yep.
That's like everybody knows that.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, we probably should have done this at the top, but we teased the food that we were going to eat while we are
come
separated
on.
from each other and not eating pizza. I didn't quite write it down, but
I would like to propose a 1-minute cap on this discussion.
All right, I'll start the
Wow.
clock. I'll start
per
the clock.
person
No,
or total?
Total.
15 seconds?
Yeah.
6-sec food sum. Let's do it. I love it.
Like Vine style.
Yes. Perfect.
All right.
Ready?
Who's going first?
Doesn't matter. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
Ready? Clock starts now.
I was going to have chili, but then my son ate all the spaghetti. So I made a pizza and I put frozen onions and peppers on top. It was pretty good. I didn't
Nice.
have any salad, but I had some birthday cake and ice cream. Well, frozen yogurt.
I
Wow.
had homemade pepperoni and mushroom pizza, which was incredible, and a small dish of chocolate chips. That's it.
Great. 30 seconds. I had a frozen pepperoni pizza as discussed. I'm 3
Didn't
beers
heat it up.
in because I'm an adult. And I also had some ice cream, but I paused the movie to get it. So I
Oh,
was
you're
2 minutes behind
behind
the
the
other 3
It was
for like
so
the second
frustrating.
half. Whatever. You guys weren't texting that much.
I had pineapple fried rice.
Yeah.
And then I had a pineapple popsicle.
Whoa.
Wow.
Themes.
Double pine.
Yeah, I
It's
love
like-
pineapple.
Pineapple two ways.
Time.
Oh, okay, we're done.
Okay, but hey, Dan Linden, we
Yes.
didn't text as much because we were trying not to give away the ending. A lot happens in 2 minutes at the end of this movie.
Fine.
Yeah, it's true. Like when you texted us, like they were already in the court scene when you were like, "Women supporting women in salons." I was like, that was 2 minutes ago.
I don't know. It's a short
like
movie.
like 10 hours of the movie passed in
It's
2
a
minutes.
tight 97.
It is
Yeah.
tight.
There is a lot of women supporting women.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Let's talk
It's
about
great.
it. Okay, I'll talk about it.
Guys.
I have things to say.
Great, do it.
First of all, I love her 2 friends that are like there for her even though they don't even know what's happening.
Oh, her sisters from the
gosh.
sorority.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the one that did they get bangs?
Yes.
Yes.
And yes, they got bangs.
Yes, they did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
they
she
did.
did get bangs. And I love that she goes into the salon and like not only does she have a relationship with Colette, but there's also that whole situation where like all of the women in the salon start like doing the bend and snap thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then it turns into just like a full-on dance circle
Yeah.
when that
Yeah,
one
that's
woman
great.
just starts fucking going for it. And I loved it
Jamming.
so much.
Jamming.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
yeah. She's
amazing.
great. In the windbreaker suit.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Just popping and locking all over the place.
Yep.
And then I love the friendship that develops with her and Vivian.
Oh, it's so
Mhm.
good.
Like
So
I like
good.
that they bond over like talking smack over about Warner because he sucks.
Yeah, my
And then-
cynical
Yes,
ass.
he
My
does suck.
cynical ass was like, "Oh, this is great," but then I turned to my wife and I'm just like, "Unless she's pretending to use her," and she nodded, shook her head. She shook her head no, and I was very delighted
Yeah.
because that
actually,
was
that's-
really good. Like it actually was a really good arc for that character.
Yeah.
Cool.
I agree. And it wasn't abrupt. Like, I think a different movie, it would like be like a cliff of change.
Yeah,
That old
agreed.
saying.
Yeah.
Where it's like, she's
Cliffs
mean.
of change.
Yep.
Yes, the cliffs of change overlooking the sea of character development. But like a different movie would have been like, she's mean. And then suddenly, oh, actually, I respect you because of a single thing that happened. And then the rest of the movie, she's
yeah.
fine.
Or an even shittier movie would have been like, she's mean, she's mean, she's mean. Oh no, Warner dumped me. And suddenly they just bond over like how I mean, they did bond over how shitty he is, but you know what I mean? And like this very just like, oh, it's okay. I was there too.
Yeah.
But instead they bond over like, yeah, Warner is shitty, but also like we like each other.
But also that is a testament to Elle's personality, right?
Yes, she's
because
very open.
Even when people are super rude or mean to her, she doesn't respond in kind, except at the very beginning when she goes to that party. She gets tricked into wearing a costume.
It was a solid burn, though.
It was a solid burn on Vivian's character. Yeah, where she says something like, when I dressed as a frigid bitch, I didn't look so constipated.
Something like
try
that,
not to look so constipated.
Yeah, it was a good line.
It was a really good line. But aside from that, she made a point of like one of the scenes, which if you think about wedging a scene into a tight 97-minute movie, where they just stand in the hallway and look at each other because Warner has walked away from the awkward situation, and Elle says, "You look nice," and Vivian says, "Thanks," and I was like, right there, it passes the Bechdel-Wallace test.
Right?
That's already more than most movies do.
Yeah.
And then also the professor, the female professor that is in the salon, and she overhears her talking about.
That was a very good salon chair turn.
Yeah. She's got a real McGonagall vibe. Am I right?
You are right. You are right. Yeah. She also reminds me of the there's like, have you seen Monsters University?
No,
I have seen a lot of it. Yes,
I've only seen Incorporated.
She reminds me of one of the professors in that movie as well.
Nice.
Just kind of like real tough. But then at the end, I think she softens up. I don't know. I remember that movie less than I remember this movie.
Shocking.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I appreciated that there was. I like the fact that they had that moment where. I mean, partly for just like the broader, just like as someone was saying earlier, just like 2001, just like making people aware of how these situations usually play out, where like Selma Blair's Vivian like sees part of the moment where Callahan is like sexually harassing Elle, and just sort of like makes her own assumptions about it. And I appreciate the fact that they took the time to like allow that character to like, I don't know, like to just figure, like take a moment for herself, just like, oh shit, like the fact that she like had a moment of realization that she made the wrong assumption.
Yeah. Although that moment, like from the perspective, so this moment where Vivian realizes how wrong she was, happens when she's in front of this defendant who they're defending literally for her life because she's on a murder trial.
Yeah, we haven't talked about the murder trial at all, by the way.
But Vivian says, "Oh no, I've made a horrible mistake," meaning about Elle. But I was like, man, that is a bold thing to say in front of somebody who's about facing the death penalty.
Yeah,
they like she meant Elle. So
I know they're all overcome with emotion because they like Elle so much, but it's like pretty wildly unprofessional the way they're talking to their client.
No, right? To be like, oh, by the way, your lawyer sexually harassed one of his interns earlier.
Yeah. But Luke Wilson's just so smitten he can't control himself.
Or he's such a good 2001 man that he can't help but be on the right side.
Yeah, I really appreciated his good 2001 man moment of like, he's like kind of like mad about the client before they know that she's not a murderer. He's like, she's just telling women that they're fat.
Oh, yeah.
It was just like, oh, yeah, he's good. But it's like, but it's more nuanced than that. And he like doesn't get it. But here we are showing he's a good man. All right. Check that box.
Yeah, and I will add that the moment that Vivian kind of becomes friends, she literally pets the dog.
Yes,
like,
right?
Literally pets.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking Bruiser, man. Bruiser is her familiar.
Also, Bruiser, P.S., knows everything before it happens. Bruiser senses danger like I do. Like, you can see it coming.
What?
No, listen,
wait, do you have a spidey sense?
I do for movies. If there's something bad that's going to happen, I cover my eyes a full 30 seconds to 2 minutes before it happens.
I see.
But
wow.
Bruiser, every time something goes wrong or he suspects something's afoot, he does a little he makes a little sound, and you're like, oh, Brewster knows what's up.
Yeah, I think he like pokes his head out of a little bag in the courtroom
Yes.
right before
She connects the dots.
Yeah.
To realize that anyone who had a perm would not wet their hair in a shower.
Yeah.
I was very excited to see Linda Cardellini in this movie, by the way.
Oh, so
yeah,
good.
that's the first thing I saw her in because I didn't watch Freaks and Geeks until after
Right.
I'd seen that movie.
Yeah, she holds it
She's
down
great.
in this.
Yeah, right. And she pulls off that ridiculous perm.
She looks great. She's got the facial structure for it.
Bone structure.
And then her mom goes, "Oh,
oh man, can we talk
Raquel
about
Welch?
Yes,
right.
which is very cool. Can we talk about MVPs in terms of the best cutaway I've ever seen?
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh! So Elle Wood's dad, I guess Mr. Woods,
Oh yeah.
never pictured without a martini.
Oh, so good.
And he has such a good joke at the beginning when Elle tells him she wants to go to law school, and he's like, "But honey, that's for like ugly, boring people."
Yeah.
And then at the end, when she's graduating, they cut to him for a split second, and he's just sitting in the audience with a full martini.
Oh,
Yeah,
so good.
that's when he won me over. I was looking at him, and I was at the first scene. I was like, "Oh, this is pretty good dad energy," but I want it to be more.
Yeah.
And he didn't really get me because he's kind of like classy, fancy dad.
It's
They're
very
my
quick.
favorite kind of dopey dad. He's still a little dopey, but then once he still has a martini in a full-on law school graduation, I was like, yes,
amazing. Like he,
massive dad
like,
energy.
Let's consider the fact of like the logistics behind that, right? Like he had to have had that prepared before entering that room.
Yeah. Has he been carrying like a full one all day waiting to drink it at graduation? Or does he have like a shaker in his coat pocket?
He has a shaker in his pocket. It got to.
Yeah, or he at the very least he has a means of preparing it in the car.
Yeah. I mean, he's for sure an alcoholic.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely has a problem.
Absolutely. He's absolutely an alcoholic.
Yeah. I had some other MVPs. I alluded to one earlier. It's all the shirtless bros in the opening scene.
Yes.
yep."
Just like 40 shirtless men just wrestling in a pile almost in the front yard. They're not playing a sport, right? They're just like writhing around.
And they show up.
I would assume that they were playing football, but now that you say that, I'm like,
No.
did they have a football?
I don't
and
think they were.
Or they
They
just
show
hanging out
up
in the front
multiple
yard?
times in the movie, and every time they are always in a cluster.
Yeah.
Like
They
there's
just
a
stop to
scene-
like ogle someone. Yeah.
Yeah, or there's the scene where she's like studying for the LSAT, and they just show them outside, just like running as a unit carrying a keg. And I'm pretty sure they're still shirtless.
Yeah, the great bros. Another one, as we're doing the like POV shot, working our way through sorority, seeing all the different people doing it. Oh, also, Baby T's very 2001, all over this place.
Yeah, right.
But they go through like the gym area, and there's just a girl with the smallest weights I've ever seen, standing kind of just in the middle of the floor, just really loosely boxing. And just like,
she's so good.
I just love the like a little amount of effort that was going into this.
Dan, would you go so far as to call them Muppet hands?
I would go that far.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then my last one is the guy standing next to Luke Wilson at graduation, who like is fully in focus because Luke Wilson's not centered in the shot.
Yeah.
But it's just like this old white dude just like clapping kind of spacily. Yeah, he got me too.
Happy to be there.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe his granddaughter's graduated or something.
My MVP of this movie is Sophie de Rakoff-Carbonell, who is the costume designer, because I assume she made all the costumes for the dog as well.
Oh my
sure.
God. That first day
Necktie,
of school
mortarboard
outfit.
hat. Are you kidding me?
So cute.
Dog costumes are great.
The
Oh,
first
good.
day
I mean,
of
all the
school-
costumes are great. But
Can we just
what?
talk about the first day of school where
Yes.
Elle is wearing a smoking jacket?
Oh my God, what was that?
essentially,
It was amazing.
And then Bruiser, sorry, he's always been
Careful.
Brewster to me. Bruiser is wearing a tiny tie with a tiny collar.
It's
It
so
is
good.
so
It's
cute.
so good. Incredible
Oh.
costumes.
Hey, guess how many hairstyles Elwood had?
Oh, I didn't count, but like that.
Did you
that
count?
video? That
Did
video
you count,
alone.
Molly?
I did not, but I looked it up online.
Oh, nice.
What?
Wikipedia?
Oh.
Is this Molly Checks Wikipedia?
It is, although I didn't even click over to Wikipedia. I just
Molly
stayed in
checks
that Google.
Wikipedia.
Molly checks Wikipedia.
Quick reminder that if everyone donates $3 to us, we will either make just this segment the show, or
Just
what's the other?
$3.
Never do it again.
Never do it again. That's right.
Yeah.
But everyone has to donate $3.
Yeah. Your $3 are a vote towards one of those two options.
Correct.
I did not count during the movie, but
Okay.
there were over 40 hairstyles.
40
Whoa.
Over
Wow.
40.
on
I was
just
shocked
L?
at your guess of 12.
Yeah, but that
We're
was
talking just L?
just Elle.
Holy shit.
Yeah, she wears her hair in so many ways in this movie. And they're
Yeah.
all such expressive hairstyles and are
Yeah.
exactly right for the moment.
Right?
Yeah.
She's very good at it.
So, yeah, the costume
very
and
good.
hair in this movie were
The
excellent.
one that I remember the most was when they go to pick up the dog, or get the dog from Colette's ex-boyfriend. It's Colette, right? It's not another
I don't
working
know.
I think
person.
so. I
That-
just
okay.
keep saying Coolidge, so I don't remember the character's name.
Coolidge, Jenny C.
Yeah.
Is yeah. So Elle has a hat on, and it is blue, and it has like a little knit flower on it.
Great hat. Yep.
And that
2001.
hat was so trend. I definitely had that hat, and so did everybody else in my school. We wore that.
Yeah.
That little
Amazing.
flower. Yeah.
Mhm,
Because
mhm.
how old were you when this movie came out, Beth?
I would have been. I'm really bad at math. 12.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
That seem right? 90.
Yeah.
That seems
Yeah.
right.
It does seem
Yeah, I
right.
would have been in junior high.
I mean, you're 35, so that checks out.
Yeah, I'm a 35-year-old woman.
That's right.
Mhm.
Oh, what a cool year to see this movie. You know?
12?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
because
it is.
like I
It
feel
is
like
a cool
around
year.
12 is when you still have a ton of self-confidence and you haven't completely had it beaten out of you by the time you get to high school.
That's a good point.
That's true. This would be a good time to like get that like Elle Woods like booster shot before going into high school.
Yeah. Get some real girl power.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, have I talked about the Reese Witherspoon phenomenon among white ladies?
No.
No. Go on.
Please tell us more.
So my theory about Reese Witherspoon
Yes.
is that so many white women, I myself am a white woman, have grown up watching Reese.
I wouldn't know. I can't see you. So.
Reese Witherspoon movies where she plays plucky, determined characters
Mhm.
who, through having pluck and smarts and being extremely focused on a goal, will eventually achieve it. And I think it has warped our brains to thinking that with enough determination we can overcome and like willingness to deal with a lot of tedium, that we can overcome any obstacle, which in some ways is really good because I think a lot of people are put in the situation where they have to deal with an uphill climb with a lot of bureaucracy or paperwork or whatever it is that they need to do to overcome to get what they need or get what they need for people they love or people they represent. But I think it also created this massive sense of disappointment when like Hillary Clinton lost or when Elizabeth Warren had to drop out of the race, because those women modeled all of that pluck and determination and exceptionalism from like a white lady perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And when they failed, it felt so personal. Because, right? It's almost like how men kind of grow up with this idea that women are a prize at the end of an adventure.
Yeah.
I think women grew up, specifically white women, grew up with this idea that with enough determination and willingness to put up with bullshit, you would eventually triumph.
Oh,
and
like
it's not true.
Like if you just Elle Woods it long enough, you'll get the prize, kind of.
If you just stay determined, or like whatever the character was she played in Election, Tracy Blick. I think she just played a lot of these characters that were just unsinkable. And then eventually, just by being really kind and determined, they get what they needed. And that's really not how things go. And it's a pretty big moment of disillusionment. And I think it also makes white ladies, such as myself, especially well-meaning white ladies, kind of blind to what was happening for non-white women.
Sure.
And so I think that especially after the 2016 election, it was just a real come to Jesus kind of moment of realization.
Well, and there's something to be said for how much we just as the majority, I guess, and obviously I'm more majority in our culture than even you are, where you sort of have to come to, like, one of the best, like, things I've ever absorbed from film criticism that I read was when someone was telling some story about I think it was some story where just like they just had some movies lying around, and they was with a friend of theirs who was a Hispanic guy, and he was like, "Oh, did you like?" I think it was like The Big Short or something, right? And he's just like, "Oh, I heard this one was pretty good. Do you want to watch it?" And his friend just goes like, a bunch of white dudes. I'm not that into it." And it was like this, like, kind of like you said, like sort of this like revelation moment where he's just like, "Oh, white people is a niche of film." Right?
Yeah.
Like, even though it's like the norm, it's still a niche of art.
Yeah.
But like, because it's so prominent, we just think of it just like, oh yeah, that's just story, that's just protagonists. But really it's just like, oh no, white people doing stuff is still a niche as well. It's just that all the people in charge of making mass consumed art fit into that category.
Yeah.
Decided its default.
Yeah.
In the baseline. Yeah.
So like that's been something that's been really helpful for me to sort of absorb that, just that statement of white is niche has helped me like really be more critical of art in general, but also like be more deliberate in seeking out or at least paying attention to who are the creators of the art I'm consuming, you know?
Sure.
Yeah. Or like who are the characters being portrayed in that art?
Yep. Mm-hmm. What was that website that got really popular for a hot minute? It's like stuff like white people like.
Yes, correct.
Which was comedy, but I think for a lot of white people
about that.
Yeah, for a lot of people, it was the first time white people were treated as a genre and an observable class, especially one that's like super easy to make fun of.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like now I feel like it's less novel, which is good.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't know. So I think, and honestly, to this day, like people loved Wild. You know, Reese Witherspoon's movie about a woman who sets out, and I actually didn't watch that one, but yeah.
Yeah, I think my wife read the book.
But yeah, it's
helpful for this discussion.
Well, but I just
wanted to say something. Hear my man voice.
It's me, a white man with an opinion.
I've been to a bookstore before, and
I saw the name of that book on a shelf once. Yeah.
I've heard of Wild. I've seen that word.
I've hiked before. Yeah,
that's the Minnesota hockey team.
I own some boots.
Yeah, and that's but that is something, Molly. Like that is definitely. I feel like we always sort of joke about how like part of the show is about sort of like reconsidering the time in which a movie exists. And like I do feel like in the last couple of years, like it's finally becoming more commonplace to at least sort of think about like, oh, like part of the reason this movie or like part of the reason this story occurs the way it does is because this character is a middle-class white woman or whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
and it is based on a true story.
Few obstacles, relatively speaking.
Is?
Oh, it is?
It's based on a book that's based on, it was basically the author's life. And I forget what her reason was for going to law school. I don't think it was specifically to pursue a guy, but it was not well thought out. But she ended up, she went to Stanford.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I probably read the book, or my wife probably read the book. That's why I thought Stanford. But it does sort of like really lightly touch on prejudice. Maybe not even that lightly, but like when she arrives, like everybody is like being like very mean and bigoted towards her fanciness, her like Valley Girl, I don't know, SoCal lifestyle, like just like yelling shit at her just on the street.
Yeah.
And so it sort of does have a little bit of like prejudice comes in many flavors, though it's still like a wealthy white woman butting up against a different kind of wealthy white people.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
I do love that moment though where she tells Brewster, "Don't worry, Brewster, everyone's gonna love you." Bruiser, whatever. I'm sorry, that dog has been Brewster for me for 20 years. So I'm having trouble letting go.
Genuinely was like, oh, it's Bruiser in the first part. And then at one point, I feel like she says Brewster.
No, man.
Maybe Brewster's from Kazam.
It's like Brewster's Millions.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah, Brewster is Sinbad's dog in the Genie movie. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. In the alternate universe that I am from.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. There it is.
Yep.
We put out a call on Discord, which is something you can go get on if you're a patron.
Get on it.
Get on it. That's Discord's slogan, right?
What?
Yeah. Discord. Get on it.
Get on it. We have a Discord thing now. We should re-mention that. I'm just saying, patreon.com/TotesRecall. You can get in on this. We chat. We have actually interacted with people. It's fun.
For as little as $1 a month, you can get access. What? Is it embarrassing?
Is this the mid-roll? That was just a preface to get into the actual thing.
I'm just saying, if you want to be a cool person that we then talk about on the show, get on it.
Get on it. Discord, get on it. But we have started.
Sorry, I'm ABCing all the time. Sorry, I listened to Alec Baldwin's speech from Glenn Glary and Glenn Ross, the movie about white men. And how even when they succeed, they fail. Am I right, other white men?
You're probably right. I didn't hear because I was trying to talk over you.
Yeah.
Anyway, we put out a call on discord.app.com.
Wow.
Oh, whoa.
There's no dot. Discordapp.com.
Get on that.
Of the night of record, see if anybody has anything we want to talk about, any questions about the movie. So we got one from Victoria, Totes Head Victoria.
Hi, Victoria. Thank you for your entry.
Yes, thank you. This is what she said. Oh man, I struggle with that one. The whole point is meant to be that pretty blonde girls who like fashion and wearing pink can be smart too, I guess. But then when she solves the case, she does it not with all the legal knowledge she spent years, laboriously studying, but with her ingrained knowledge of hair products. The other lawyers couldn't have solved it because they didn't have the specialized expertise, putting aside that the legal team is kind of doing the job of the police here. Great point. So it is sexist or not? I really like the idea of a film that shows that there aren't just two kinds of women, pretty women or clever/serious women, but not sure this movie actually achieves it. And the less said about the second movie where she solves whatever the problem is because it turns out the judge went to her sorority, the better.
Whoa, what?
On the other hand, the musical is a masterpiece and I won't hear a word against it. Triple laugh cry emojis.
Wow.
These are some solid comments.
I want to see the musical. I bet the musical's super fun.
I bet
it's
fun.
great.
I love this take. Thank you, Victoria. That's a very good point that she doesn't. I mean, she uses a little bit of her legal knowledge, but it comes down to knowing hair products.
Right.
I mean, but in her defense, she is a first year.
Oh yeah,
intern.
It's wild. She's working a murder trial.
Yeah, but it comes down to her belief in her client,
right?
Which was the thing that her highfalutin mentor didn't have,
right?
And her knowledge of hair care, which even I knew that, and I only had one perm, and it was in the 8th grade, and was a disaster. I look like a poodle.
It didn't happen.
Agreed.
Agree on pics.
Put it on Discord.
Yeah.
Get on it.
Any photographic evidence of it left, but I will look.
Okay.
Should we have a channel where we just post pictures of us with bad haircuts?
That's like every picture of me until I started to go bald.
Oh yeah, my dad cut my hair for a very long time.
Nice.
Amazing.
I have some very aggressive bowl cuts.
Yeah, I did too for a while.
Oh.
I had a bowl cut too.
Nice.
So,
I had a Dutch boy haircut, which is basically a bowl haircut.
Right.
And that was in Memphis, Tennessee, which is just cruel. Should not make
Why
a little girl.
Why is it worse in Memphis to have a...
Because every little girl
bowl
there
cut
has...
in Memphis.
Oh, God.
Bowl cut in Memphis.
You literally cut Molly off so you could do that. I just want to point that out.
Yeah. I didn't want the moment to pass.
You bowl cut her off.
Bolton, am I right?
Okay, Molly, please finish your thought.
Michael Bolton.
Hold on.
Oh, bowl cut. Michael Bowl cut? Yeah, very
Yes.
good.
Thank
Got
you.
it. Love
High
it.
five.
High fives all around, except for Dan.
No, in Memphis,
Wow.
like all the little girls have blonde, well, not necessarily blonde, but long hair with curls.
Oh, okay.
And so to have a little girl with sort of nondescript brownish hair
right.
and a basically Dutch boy haircut was like just mean.
It's like putting a sign on you that says like, hello, I am different from you.
I am totally different. And also I'm wearing a weird amount of khaki for a child my age.
Also, I have a subscription to, what was it? The AARP magazine?
Oh, I had a subscription to the Reader's Digest and to Cross Stitch magazine, which naturally led to me getting a membership to the AARP.
That's right. Okay, all right. I apologize. I apologize for misstating your very
the
cool...
AARP doesn't send me anything now, and I think it's because in their computers I must have been dead for years.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Right?
Oh, no.
Right? Anyway, notcreepy.com.
This episode is sponsored, of course, by notcreepy.com.
Yeah,
I am terrified to check what it is.
I choose not to go to that website.
Please
Almost
do
guaranteed
it
to be creepy.
But also, please do it and tweet at us and hashtag yescreepy.com or hashtag actually not that creepy.com.
Yeah, please do.
What is on that website? Just someone being like, it's not creepy if it's on this website.
Yeah, but they're like in a full
collection of things
clown
are not
suit.
creepy.
And it's like, ooh, here's my
bunch of doll heads.
Here's my shelf full of toenails.
But it's not creepy because it's on notcreepy.com.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, they're just my toenails. It's fine.
Yeah. Everybody's got them.
Get over it.
Toenails. Look down at your feet. You got them.
Stop.
Yeah. And take a picture.
Post it to notcreepy.com. The number one website for toenails that are not creepy.
It's good that we're not next to each other because Molly probably would have hit one of us.
Probably.
But anyway, Victoria makes a great point.
She really does. I agree.
Thank you, Victoria.
That is actually like a solid critique of the concepts beneath this story, for sure.
Yeah. And Legally Blonde 2 was trash. And
what is it about?
All agree.
It's bad.
Very
she goes
bad.
She goes to
DC.
Washington.
Yeah.
For what?
Oh, yeah. Red, white, and blonde, right?
Yeah. Change a law for some reason because of her dog. Like, because they're testing makeup on the dogs and that she wants to stop it from happening.
Okay. It is so bad.
Oh, they have to save Brewster's mom.
What?
Because she's in a... Okay.
How old?
I believe what happens is that...
Do you want to start the clock? Name? 60-second summary?
Ooh, yeah. Sure. Yes, hold on. I love this.
This movie that I think I've seen one time,
like
are 15
you ready?
Years ago.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
And go.
Okay. I think what happens is that she decides to find Bruiser's mom. And she finds out that Bruiser's mom is in a makeup testing facility.
And also is like 25 years old or what?
Yeah. Well, that's why, she's had a job for a long time testing makeup.
Sure.
So then she's like, this is wrong. We have to save Bruiser's mom. And so then she goes to Congress and she works for a senator who I think is Sally Field.
30 seconds.
It turns out to be bad.
Oh, she's bad? Sally Field is
Sally
bad?
Field sells out Elle Woods.
Is she Warner? Is she related to Warner?
Legally Blonde.
She's Warner's mom.
Is that true?
And
no.
But Regina King is also in it, and Regina King is awesome.
Yes.
And she has amazing arms.
She's always
At
awesome.
some point, now I'm thinking of a different movie maybe, but at some point do they have to nope, this is
5 seconds.
Geniality.
Well,
Time.
quite the cliffhanger. You can read the rest on wikipedia.org.
Let me understand. Is it possible that half of that summary was Miss Congeniality?
No, just the one I was gonna say. Well, Regina King's arms are amazing.
Is she in Miss
also,
Congeniality?
I think she's in the second Miss Congeniality, where for some reason they have to dance and they're both dressed up as Tina Turner, maybe.
I'm sure she has amazing arms in that too. Then,
or no, one of them is dressed up in like a Las Vegas thing.
Okay,
I don't know. Anyway, great
Miss
point.
Congeniality 2, more congenial.
Yeah.
Great. So what I'm hearing is don't check out Red, White, and Blonde.
But do see number 3.
Absolutely.
You're welcome.
Synergy.
MGM.
Sure.
We saw the lion.
We saw the lion.
Yes. There was a good lion at the beginning.
Good lion. Bad stepdad. Okay, before we get to our final reviews of the movie, we'd like to read a review of our podcast, totesrecall.com, in the impression of a character from the movie we just watched, Legally Blonde, the first one, number 1.
Mm-hmm.
We have a review. Thank you, reviewers.
Wow. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is anybody feeling particularly inspired?
I think I might be able to do Elwood.
Okay.
You're doing Elwood?
I'm going to try to do Elwood.
Isn't her name Elle Woods?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
I'm Elwood.
Molly, you're already...
I'm already failing. You know what? Somebody else do this.
Jennifer Coolidge got fine. Hey, it's
Fine.
You gotta like stretch your mouth out though. She always talks like she's talking through her teeth.
All right, I could try Colette.
Colette.
It's Jennifer Coolidge.
Okay.
It's Pecker. It's Pecker.
Pick her up to pasture. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Podcast Yum Yum.
Oh boy. Oh, no.
Milk drinking adults are creepy.
Oh.
My parents are divorced too, Molly. Podcast Yum Yum.
Oh, nope. They had me and then they lost me. Okay.
I just want to say...
Bard.
That's it? That's the whole review?
Yep,
Yes.
that's it. That's
Okay.
the perfect
Podcast
review
Yum
as far
Yum.
as I'm concerned.
Short and sweet.
I love that so much. And also, like, what a perfect impression to use for that.
Yeah, right?
That is chock full of inside Totes Head references.
Yeah.
Although
right.
I think we can all agree it's time to let Yum Yum go.
Mm-hmm.
Disagree.
No one agrees with that.
Everyone agrees.
I think that 50% of this podcast is all in on Yum Yum.
This is Podcast Yum Yum.
Oh,
Yuck.
Please stop.
You know what? I hated it at first, and then I embraced it, and now I'm a fan. I stand for Yum Yum.
Where Yum Yum stands.
Stockholm syndrome.
Oh no. Oh no.
So tweet at us all our Yum Yum stands out there.
Okay, but also you two.
Hashtag Yum Yum stand.
Yeah, but also you two have to start a hip hop duo called Yum Yum Stands.
Yeah. Great.
We have a
It's the
TikTok.
Yum Yum Stands.
Yeah, that's definitely our TikTok account.
Oh
Yep,
right,
Yum Yum
nice,
Stand.
nice. And then just do a bunch of dance challenges.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
Well-
we'll do that. The Vietnamese pop song about washing hands, which is
I
a
literally am doing it
total
right now
banger.
as we're saying it.
Ooh, and then there could be like a shtick where like Dan tries to keep it together while Beth slams back a pint of milk.
Oh, God.
yeah. And
What?
then
You drink milk?
I do,
Yeah.
but you know what? That's
You-
a bad idea to have a pint of it.
you're a big time
Okay.
milk glug glug.
Ew.
That's all right.
All right. Well, anyway, thank you for your review.
All in on Yum Yum, all out for Glug Glug.
You up for glug glug?
Please. Okay, well, I'm glad we have that on record. I'm glad we have that on record.
Well, I'm still in for glug glug.
Ugh.
Tweet at us, Team Yum Yum, Team Glug Glug.
All right, you could be on both. I'm on both.
Disagree. We're a divisive country now.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll put up a Twitter poll. Yum
Yes.
yum or glug glug.
Let's do that. Can we actually do that?
Yeah. Right?
Let's do
they
it.
didn't
Yes.
kill polls,
Sure.
did they?
I don't know.
Can we
Hey,
also do
Jack?
neither? Because they're bad. I don't like them.
Maybe the third one could just be bad.
Or both. Yeah, we do neither both. That's great. Anyway, figure it out. Me, probably.
Yeah, definitely you.
Great. All right. Speaking of Legally Blonde, Dan, you gave our rating scale again was technically Brewster Pizza.
Yep. It's fine. It's a knockoff. It's a knockoff because they couldn't get the license to the character.
Legally distinct.
Yes,
enough.
Exactly. Legally blonde enough. Legally brunette.
Presents Brewster's Pizza.
Exactly.
Dan, you gave it 4.
Yes.
For the larger cultural appreciation that you think exists. So it's probably pretty good.
Yeah, I'm going to say that in this case, culture was correct. I enjoyed it. I thought it was, it's just sort of a silly movie for the most part, but it has some good, good for 2001, especially like subtext. Reese Witherspoon is charming as always.
Mm-hmm.
And good character arcs for pizzas.
Oh, I thought you were saying that there were good pizza character arcs.
Oh, yeah.
And I was trying to think of
there's great character arcs.
Movie.
Yeah.
If you're a pizza watching this movie, you will enjoy the character arcs.
Yes.
Yeah.
The fact that one pizza used to be against the other pizza, but then they became friends at the end. Oh,
yeah.
Perfect.
So good.
So good.
Beth, you predicted a 5 because you really love it. You've seen it 100 times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still really enjoyed it. I think that movie is very fun, even though there are moments and things in there that we know better now.
Yes.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
But not as many as you might expect.
Yeah. And I think and if you consider what the message is, today, I think they were pretty progressive from 2001.
Yeah.
With some girl power, as it was woman power. They're women. So I'm going to say 5.
Nice.
Brewster Pizzas. Pizza.
No.
Pizza, yum,
Pizza.
yum.
Yeah.
Yum Pizza.
We don't own Pizza. We own Yum Yum and Glug Glug.
Okay. Brewster Pizza. Yum Yum.
Mamma mia, glug glug.
Oh no. I have so many problems with that.
I hate it so much.
I predicted a 4, thinking, it sounds like a nice movie.
Mhm.
I am not 100% sure I have seen this movie before.
Nice.
What? Wait, you waited the whole podcast to reveal that?
No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I might have. It seemed sort of familiar, but not so familiar that I definitely had seen it.
Do you think you just saw a picture of Reese Witherspoon and then your wife summarized the book?
Yeah, I think I was watching the Monterey Lion Ladies while my wife was reading Wild and going through law school.
Got it.
But so I think on its face value, I enjoyed it like a 3 to 3.5 level.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a fun movie, nice characters, everybody's having a nice time. But I do think I really appreciated how well it dealt with some things, considering it's a 2001 movie.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm gonna maintain my 4 because I think it really was ahead of its time.
Ooh.
Glad a movie about women being ahead of its time only got a 4. Good to know.
Interesting.
Okay.
Interesting.
All right.
What an interesting.
Maybe 3.5 is probably.
Oh, wow.
Hold on, Dan and I have to pop our shirts off and play a vague sport.
We're gonna run around in the yard. 4. No, I liked it. Molly, you wanted to give it a 4 or 5, and then made me scratch that out and go to a 4.5, and then we're further cajoled into actually giving it a 5.
Yeah, it deserves a 5. It does. And I think it deserves a 5 because the screenplay is so tight and it tackles a lot of pretty heady stuff in a pretty, it could have been a much frothier kind of format. And I think if you don't realize how good Legally Blonde is, try watching Legally Blonde 2. And then you will more fully appreciate, because it's not just about Elle Woods being a fish out of water or being such a charming, super Southern California person. There's more to it, and that's what makes it enjoyable. And there were some problematic pieces, and I will just acknowledge that. But I think for 2001, I think it does all right.
Mm-hmm.
but I still liked Honey, I Shrunk the Kids more. So there it is.
Okay, that's fine. I think that's a perfectly understandable stance to take. I mean, we all stand Honey, I Shrunk.
Oh, yeah. I glug that honey.
God damn it. God damn it. I thought about going there, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't bring myself to do it.
And that cookie's, that's
What?
territory. That cookie that they eat,
cookie?
right?
Oh.
Are you just talking about Honey, I Shrunk the Kids?
What are you talking about?
Okay, 1 minute to describe the plot of Honey, I Shrunk
Okay,
the
all right. So, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. We got Rick Moranis. He's a wild inventor.
I haven't turned Go.
Rick Moranis, wild inventor dad. Kind of a crackpot. The mom's holding it down, right? In terms of providing for the family.
I don't know.
But so he makes him a shrinking machine, all the kids, and the neighbor kids get shrunk.
Beth, just turn off his microphone.
And then Auntie gets killed.
Just fade out. Just fade out here.
There's a cookie in there, like a cream pie that they eat, and it looks delicious.
30
fly
seconds.
On a bee.
Yeah.
There's a great cat. Everybody's got a good arc. Cracker Jack script.
Yeah.
Honey.
Totes Recall is hosted by Molly Chase, Beth Gibbs, Dan Jaquette, and Dan Linden. Produced by Beth Gibbs. New episodes of Totes Recall drop on the 15th of every month. For more information and bonus content, visit us at totesrecall.com. Thank you so much for listening.